We are up to Yerushalmi Berachos, Yud Gimel Amud Aleph, in the cycle of Yerushalmi Yomi. Just we're getting a running start for the Bab Yud Beis on base. We're talking about how the Aseret Dibros appear in Kriya Shema in various different places, and we had just finished saying that Zachar Yom Shabbos corresponds to Man Tiskru, which is in the third paragraph of Shema, and it's because Shabbos corresponds to all the mitzvahs of the Torah. And so too, we said yesterday, Tzitzis also corresponds to all the mitzvah Torah to remind you of all the mitzvahs. And this, picking up from the last couple of words at the bottom, and since all the mitzvahs are connected to Shabbos, it teaches us, that it corresponds to the mitzvahs of the Torah. Okay, so that's Shabbos. So that is, and then going on to the next of the Aseret Dibros. Excuse me. Kabetz V'Esimecha corresponds to L'man Yerbu Yemechem V'Yimei V'nechem. Because Kabetz V'Esimecha L'man Yeruchin Yamecha, in order to extend the days of your life, corresponds to L'man Yerbu Yemechem. Lo Tirtzach, do not murder, corresponds to Avadka Mehera. You're going to be eradicated from the land, and that means being killed. Man dekotil miskatil. Somebody who kills gets killed. Lo sinaf, do not commit licentious behavior. Lo sasur chelabav chareinechem. Don't follow your heart and your eyes. Rabbi Levi, right? Rabbi Levi said, Liba ve'ena train sarsurin dechata. The heart and the heart and the eye are the two brokers of sin. As they can lead a person to sin. The Chesiv says, "Tzna b'ni libchali." The Mishlei it says, "Give my son your heart to me." Ve'necha d'rachai titzrena, and my eyes, your eyes should preserve my pathway. Omar Kodesh Baruch Hu, Hashem says, "You have to libcha ve'necha." If you give me your heart and eyes, I know you're li. I know that you're mine. Next, lo tignov, do not steal. Vasafti garnecha, lo tignov shechavercha. Gather your own grain, not the grain of your friend. Lo taneh becha et shoker, don't bear false witness against your friend. Ani Hashem elokechem. The corresponds to the last words of Shema. I am the God, your Lord. Uksim, it says Hashem Elokim Emes. Well, that we add on the word Emes, Hashem Elokechem, because the pasuk says Hashem Elokim Emes, and Ma'u Emes. What does Emes mean? What is the Emes here? I'm sorry. Amar Rabbi Avon Shu Elohim Chaim U'Melech Olam, that He is the living God and the King of the world. So the Emes is the antithesis of that's the MS and show. The MS tells you don't lie. Amar Rabbi Levi, when they say Amar Kodesh Baruch Hu, if you testify to your friend false testimony, I consider you a lie, it's to be testified against me. That I didn't create heaven and earth. That's anybody who's chakram, there's no limit to the sheker. Alo sachmod beis re'echa, do not covet the house of your friend. Usaz amazos beisecha, write the mezuzah on your house. Beischa, your house. For lo beischa berecha, and not the house of your friend. Okay, so we find these are allusions to all of the Aseret Dibros which you find in Kriya Shema. Talmud, we looked over there in Maseches Berachos. No, it's referring to Mishnah Talmud. Sorry, and Mishnah Talmud says, "Amalei Mamuneh." The person in charge in Beis Hamikdash would say to the Asam Kohanim at the early stages of the morning, "Birchu bracha achas." He would say to them, "Make a bracha." They made a bracha. My birchu, what's the bracha they make? They This was the Birchas HaTorah. They made Birchas HaTorah. V'koru Aseres HaDvarim. And then they read Aseres HaDibros, Shema V'Yayim Shema. And they read Shema V'Yayim Shema as well. Rabbi Yam Moshe Rish Lakish said, Zeh Uzos Mes Nisha She'er Brachos Ma'akvos. And brachos are not necessary. In other words, because you're saying Shema early in the morning without the brachos, so it means that you get the mitzvah without having said the brachos. Now it's interesting, the Meichal HaMayim, which is the Aruch HaShulchan's parish on the Yerushalmi, he says that the Birchas HaTorah before, which you mentioned, that the Anshe Mishnah would say before they said Shema is in fact the bracha ba'ava rabbah. And so what's the proof that the bracha is not makeh? If the bracha refers to ava rabbah, is makeh because you have to do it. So he says it's because of the hefsek of Aseres HaDibros. Right? You said ava rabbah, and then you said Aseres HaDibros like it's depicted here. So there must be that the brachos are not makeh because we can separate them from Kriya Shema. And the rest of the man seems to see a similar thing. The Gra changes the girsa, but later on at the end of the Omer, it seems that it's going like the Meichal HaMayim and the Meichal HaMayim and the Or Samech, as I guess we shall see. So later on the end of the Omer, later on somewhere in the Omer. I'm not sure if it's the same Omer actually. I'm just reading from my notes. We'll see. Rabbi Barabba said, he says, if you want to bring a ride from here, there was no evidence. Why? Because it's not a hefsek. Well, this is actually much like the Or Samech and the Meichal HaMayim, because it's saying that Ava means that it's a hefsek brachos and makvos, because you're not seeing Ava Rabbah and between Shema. So he says, if that's your issue, it's not hefsek, because Aseres HaDibros is the same meaning as Shema. In fact, we just saw that Aseres HaDibros included in Shema, so therefore it's not a hefsek. But they are part of the very core of the concept of Shema. The Rab Masna of Rab Shmuel Bar Nachman Tarvei Ormin. The house of Rab Masna, they both said, oh no, I'm sorry, this is a continuation. Sorry. There's a proof in the point. Like I just, I'm going back a lot. How do we know the Gufa Shema? Because Rav Masna, Rav Shmuel Bar Nachman, we should say Aseres HaDibros every day. Why don't we say them? That because of the protestations of the heretics. Heretics say, yeah, there is a God. And he did give Sinai Har Sinai, but only Aseres HaDibros, not the rest of the Torah. So therefore, in order that people should not come to the conclusion Aseres HaDibros is of paramount significance more than everything else in Torah, and only that was given Har Sinai, so therefore they canceled saying it. I think the meaning here are Christians. The Christians deny that, would assert that not necessarily of Torah Shebiksav is divine or necessary, but that's what the Dibros are. Reshua Nachman Shem Rabbi Yehuda Bar Zvida B'dinayu. Reshua Nachman, the name Rabbi Yehuda Zvida said, Al Pidin, it would be appropriate to current Parshas Balak or Bilam B'chol Yom. We should read the Parsha of Balak and Bilam every day. Why don't we read every day? In order not to cause too much of a burden on the tzibur. So the question is, why should we say Parshat Balak and Bilam every day? Rabbi Chudamar says because it says them though when you lay down and when you rise. And Pnei Moshe explains, Karash Chav Kari. You bent down, lay down like a lion, Uklavia, like a lioness or lion club. Mi Kimenu, who's going to cause him to rise. So Shachav and Kikimenu. It's V'dami l'shitcha v'shalvo kumecha. Similar to Shavkol Kumeinu, Shakadosh Baruch Hu Shomreinu, God preserves us b'shachveinu uvkumeinu, when we lay down and when we stand up. Fichach, lishkav, to lie down, shleivim ushketim, tranquil and peaceful, kari uchlavi, like a lion. Lefichach yabedin sheyu korin ganke parsha zu. So they should read Parshas Balak and Bilam because of Karash Chav Kari, if not for the Tirchot Tzibur. He gives, he says, the reason why I should read the Parshas Balak because it's Tzias Mitzrayim. Moshe says, he says, Kel Motzion Mitzrayim, that's the pasuk about Mitzrayim. Umalchus, what's supposed to be Malchus, Utruas Melech Bo. The company of the king comes without, or the pasuk, the reus of the king, or the shofar of the king, they accompany Bnei Yisrael. That's the rest of Rabbi Amar because when it's my Malchus, Rabbi Lezer, Mipnei Ksuva Torah Nevi'im Uksuvim. So the was means in Torah, so Nevi'im Uksuvim. So the Bnei Moshe goes into, he says in all three sections of Tanakh, it mentions that Hashem did us a chesed in not allowing Balak to curse us. And without getting into the actual psukim right now, the Bnei Moshe does bring out all the psukim from the various places in Tanakh. Says Gemara. Well, let me just point out. It says in all places in Tanakh, so therefore it seems that it's all over Tanakh. It seems like it's something very significant that we must the Parashat Balak and Bilam, something to which we would at least have a presumption to say every day. The person in charge said to people, the requirement said in the base of English, Baruch bracha achas. Make one bracha, and here it's even more explicit, like the Or Sameach L'Mechamayim. Why? Because it says Ma Birchu. What's the bracha? Not Birchas HaTorah. Ma Ramas L'B'Shem. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Ma Birchu Ma Ramas L'Shem Shmuel said Zu Birchas HaTorah. So it sounds right, like it's about the actual Torah. No, it seems that's not true. It is Birchas Torah, meaning of here of Ava Rabbah, which we know Yotze Birchas Torah in Ava Rabbah because of its nusach, and because only that way does the next line make sense. Next line says, "How can they make Ava Rabbah? Avalolo Birchas Yotze Meros." They couldn't make it. How can they make it? After Yotze Meros comes before Ava Rabbah. So how can they say go straight to Ava Rabbah if not going to say Yotze Meros? Shmuel Achui the Rebbe Berachos said, "Adayin lo yotzu me'oros t'emar Yotze Meros." What do you want to do? You want to say Yotze Meros? It's pitch dark outside. So how can they say Yotze Meros? Okay, so therefore it stands to reason that Ava Rabbah in that case could be stand alone. Although the question is how you be Yotze Brachos Mudel Chaveta, but that's a separate issue. Rav Shmuel. No, but Shabbos was even bracha as the Mishmar Yotze. On Shabbos, he had a bracha for the Mishmar, which is completing its time serving the Beis Hamikdash. Ma'u bracha, what's the bracha you give them? Amar Rabbi Chelka said, Zeh who he Zuhi as a Shochem Abayis Azeh, the Shechina which lives in this house, Yitabe Nechem should plant within you. Be'achva v'ava. Brotherhood and love, the shalom and peace, reus and friendship. Okay, Shmuel Amar, Yishkim L'Shnos Kohen Kriyas Shema. If you got to learn before Kriyas Shema, Tzarech Levarech, you have to make a bracha, and that's Birchas HaTorah. Bracha make a Birchas HaTorah before you learn. If you didn't learn before davening, La Kriyas Shema, you learned after Shema, ain't Tzarech Levarech. So Ava Rabbah exempts you. Ava Rabbah is enough of the Nusach of Birchas HaTorah that in of itself is sufficient. So Amar Bar said, Busha Shana Asar. It's only if you make the learn immediately afterwards, right? The only that way there's the juxtaposition of Bracha Ava Rabbah and learning Torah make it tantamount to the same Birchos Torah. Otherwise, you have to say Birchos Torah regardless. Yeah. Right. All right. Barava said, so therefore it means that you have to learn immediately afterwards, which only means immediately after you finish Monasri, not immediately afterwards in the before Kriya Shema, but as close as possible to when you finish the when you said Ava Rabbah. So Rabbi Yehuda Amar Nir Advarim Medrash Tzarich Levarach Halachos Ein Tzarich Levarach. So this is a very interesting question of when to make Birchos Torah. It's a well-known brisker Rav that the Birchos Torah is on a Cheftza of Torah. So what's that Cheftza of Torah that on which you're making the Birchos Torah? What does it consist of? Anything parsha sheet you pick up and read as it Chaim Birchos Torah, or something else, something more substantial. So the first one is Shmuel Amar Yishkim Lashos Kohen Kriya Shema. If you got to learn early before you said Shema. Oh no, we just said, I'm sorry. Rabbi Yehuda Amar Nir Advarim Medrash Tzarich Levarach. It seems to him that Medrash should make the bracha Birchos Torah. Halachas ain't Tzarich Levarach. If you're learning halachas, that's not considered. You don't make a Birchos Torah for that. So when it says Medrash, I assume it means that even Medrash, it's certainly halachas. But no, sorry, sorry about that. He says halachas ain't Tzarich Levarach. I assume he says Medrash, he means Medrash and also Mishnah and Gemara, but not halachas, which are just cut and dry. So the Medrash and assume also Gemara, but not halachos. Rabbi Simon B'Shem Rabbi Shimon Levi says no. Ben Medrash made halachos tzarich levarach. You have to make a bracha also on halachos. Amar Rabbi Chia Barashi. Rabbi Chia Barashi said Nagin Havina Yasimin Kami Rav Ben Medrash. Whether we learn Medrash, Ben halachos, we're learning about halachos. Zekika lemevarcha. You may just make a Birchos Torah first. Tani learns that Korim actually Mamot, somebody who learns who's reading the Shema. He's not according to the sermon essay, but he's reading with the people who are serving. Lo yatsa actually that's not the case here. Sorry. The actually Mamot are the Israelim who at the same time as the Kohanim doing the Beis Hamikdash, they're out either in Yerushalayim, outside Yerushalayim, and they were saying those 7 days, which was their Torah Anut, their turn, they would involve themselves in learning and the davening and learning and fasting in order that the Korban should be accepted. So if you read those Anshe Mamad Lo Yatsa Kimachrim Heim, they read late. And Ben Moshe says, "Anshi Mishmar Hema Yimashkim Korin." The people Kohanim was serving, they got early and read. Shlo Hafsik Ba'Avoda in order not to interrupt the Avoda. Anshi Mamad Ve'Em Yisrael Haboim LaMov Shasa Krava. Anshi Mamad who were outside Beis Hamikdash and inside Beis Hamikdash standing at the time of the carbon. Hoyu Messiah Mosa Mamashi Mecholim. They used to help whatever way they can, so they give moral support. Ma'achim Karnu, they would read late because they're stuck giving their support ahead of time. There's the story coming up here. The Rabbi Zira, B'Shem Rabbi Yami, B'Yami Rabbi Yochanan, he said, the Rabbi Zira Rabbi Yochanan said, his name Rabbi Yassi said, B'Yami Rabbi Yochanan, they said, Rabbi Yochanan, have a nafkin l'tanisa. We used to go out to make fast when we need to make fast. The Korui Shema besides Lashoin, I read Shema after the first 3 hours a day. The law of Mache Biyodan, and nobody protested that we were doing this. And this is where the Amud goes ends today. Let's just go a little. No, we'll leave it for tomorrow. It's proper time. Davar b'ito mato.